Yo, what's up, guys? This is Three Emmers, except it's just me, Plato, because I'm the only one that has watched this show and Game of Thrones, so I guess I'm gonna have to be the only one here today. And basically, if you guys didn't know, House of the Dragon Season 2 just finished up on last Sunday, so I thought that it would be a good idea to do a little review on this, on Season 2, and kind of like see. I'm gonna show you guys the pros and the cons of this season. And just letting you guys know, there will be spoilers in this, so if you guys want to avoid spoilers, just click off. I won't be mad. Alright, so first off, we're going to start off with the pros. For the main pro of this is the production value. The production value for Season 2 of House of the Dragon is unbelievable. Mostly the CGI on the dragons, I don't think it's ever been better in either Game of Thrones or Season 1 of House of the Dragon. You can tell that they kind of worked really hard on this season, and you can tell that HBO had a really high budget for this season. I'll tell you that. Another really big pro for this season is the music and score. The music and score is made by Ramin Djawadi. He's the one that made it in Game of Thrones and in House of the Dragon. And the soundtrack by Ramin Djawadi in seasons 7 and 8 were basically like the only good things, only good parts of that season, of those seasons. And the soundtrack for season 2 of House of the Dragon is great. He just really knows how to make a really badass soundtrack for both of the shows. Another pro. This is kind of getting into spoilers here. Prince Jaehaerys' death. I think that his death was very well done. I really liked how they showed it during the episode, like how much King Aegon really loves his son Jaehaerys and how he wants to see him on the throne. Even like bringing him to the council meeting so he can learn how to be a ruler, because he will rule one day, or he would have ruled, I guess. Yeah, I really like that. I think the first few episodes were really good. The first half of this show were very good. It's the second half of the show that kind of brings it down a little bit, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Some good episodes. When I'm talking about good episodes, I'm talking about episode 1, A Son for a Son. I thought it was a really good start to the season. I thought it was really well done, and it really got me hyped to see what was coming up next. Episode 2, which is Rhaenyra the Cruel, is probably my second favorite episode of the whole show. And episode 4, The Red Dragon and the Gold, which has Rook's Rest, which we'll get into in a little bit. And episode 7, The Red Sowing. So in particular, episode 4, The Red Dragon and the Gold, which has the Battle of Rook's Rest and the death of Princess Rhaenys. I think it's a really good episode. However, I do think that they could have made it look a little bit more believable how King Aegon survived. There's really no way, like, looking at how he somehow survived that, there's really no way that he should have survived that. And I do think that that's really like the only bad thing about this episode. Other than that, I think this episode's pretty much perfect. And in my opinion, it's the best episode of all of House of the Dragon so far. Another one of my favorite things of this whole season is the Green Council scenes. I think they were unbelievable. They were really good, really well made. Especially with King Aegon. I love how King Aegon is basically just being a dumbass and does basically everything wrong, and you can see how he gets punished for his mistakes. Especially the scene of him getting rid of Otto Hightower as his hand of the king and giving it to Kristen Cole. I think it was probably one of the best scenes of the whole show, and it really doesn't get enough recognition in my opinion. Otto Hightower's actor, Rhys Ifans, really acts his ass off this scene, and I think he did a really good job during this scene. I really hope that Otto Hightower comes back during season 3 of House of the Dragon, because he's honestly one of my favorite characters of the whole show. So yeah, those are most of the pros of the whole season. Now we're gonna get into the cons, which there might be a lot. I'm just letting you guys know. So the main con for this season is that there's only 8 episodes instead of the usual 10 episodes, which I didn't think it was that big of a deal, as long as they kind of like they pack in the episodes. Like, I'm fine with them getting rid of 2 episodes as long as there's a lot of stuff going on in only 8 episodes. And also, the only other seasons of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon that weren't 10 episodes were season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones, which is really not good at all. But I'd say that this season is better than them. One of the main things that people are hitting on this season is how slow it can be at times. And I will agree with them. Like, I do agree that some of the episodes, like episode 3, episode 5, and episode 6 are really slow. Yeah, it can be really slow at times. It can be a little bit boring, and especially with only having 8 episodes, I think it wouldn't have been as bad if it had the usual 10 episodes this season, but it didn't. So I'd say it made the slow pacing of the season even worse. But my main gripe of the season is how my favorite character, which is Daemon Targaryen, is in Harrenhal for literally the whole season. And it's not even like there are any cool scenes with him in Harrenhal. There may be a handful of them. But most of the hallucinations that he has at Harrenhal are basically useless for the season. Except for during the last episode, the finale, I think that hallucination was really well made, and I really enjoyed that one. But other than that, like I don't really think that there was any point to these. Another thing that I hate about how they did Daemon Targaryen wrong was how he kept on calling himself king, and he was acting like he was gonna betray Rhaenyra. But in the season finale, he told her that he was on her side and how she was the rightful heir to the throne. So I don't really understand what the point of it all. So, but take this with a grain of salt because I haven't read the books, so he might actually betray her later on in the season. So, just pointing it out there. Another kind of a minor critique, but of the whole season, but they were talking about Daeron, who has a dragon. Like, they kept on bringing up his name. I was really expecting him to come into the season, but he wasn't even in it for like one scene this whole season. So I was really disappointed by that. I was really expecting him to come in because I know that Daeron is a fan favorite character. I also hate how at the end of the season 1 of House of the Dragon, it was basically the beginning of the war, and at the end of the season 2, it's still the beginning of the war. Like literally, not much has gone on. And with this show only having 4 seasons, season 3 and season 4, better have all action-packed episodes. That's all I'm saying. Another one of my least favorite parts of season 2 of House of the Dragon are the fucking Rhaenyra and Alicent scenes. These are so stupid. So for the first one, Rhaenyra shows up to King's Landing with the world's shittiest disguise, and somehow doesn't get killed, and gets to talk to Alicent without Alicent getting her guards to kill her and literally ending the war. It doesn't make any sense at all, and the one in the finale is not any better at all. Like, I do not understand this shit at all. So basically, my final gripe of the season is the finale. I know that a lot of people do not like this finale, and I'm one of them for sure. Basically, the finale is like, it's basically just a 70-minute trailer for season 3. Basically, nothing happened, which is not like Game of Thrones at all. In all of the other seasons, there's something happening in the last episode of the season, but not in this one at all. I was really disappointed when I realized that there wasn't going to be a Battle of the Blockade in this episode. I thought they were going to bring it in just in this last episode to have at least one battle, but nope. But yeah, I was really disappointed by it. I really hope we get a Battle of the Gullet maybe in the season 3 episode 1, but who knows? But there are a few good scenes, however, such as the Night King and the Daenerys scene, which I think is one of my favorite scenes of the whole episode. I love how it basically confirms that Daenerys was the prince that was promised instead of Jon, and I really think that it was great to see the Night King in House of the Dragon. So yeah, this season may not be as good as seasons 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones. It's really nowhere as good as nowhere near as good as season 1 of House of the Dragon, which I think was the literal perfect season 1 of any show. I think it was a great first season, and I think season 2 is not as good as season 1, but it's okay. It's okay. I really hope that season 3 will be better than this season, and I'm kind of just left disappointed by this season, but it's okay because season 3 is gonna be a banger. In general, I would probably give season 2 of House of the Dragon a 6 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of this season. I'm always down to have a little chat in the comment section or whatever. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.